What the fuck is going on, guys? And welcome back to the fucking episode. The episode of the Staincast. Of course, as usual, I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen E. With me, as always, Mr. DL.
What's up,
and of
guys?
course, he had to tap in for this one. He tapped in months ago, Mr. Mumbarella.
What's going on, y'all? Happy to be back.
It's been a fucking schminute, hasn't it?
As soon as we started floating around the idea of us doing Star Wars, that shit was automatic, bro. It was like episode 3.
I had to secure my spot months ago.
Mom made sure that he was ready. First, for those of you watching on YouTube, yes, I'm in a different background. I'm visiting family for the week, so I had to record in a different location. I'll be back to the regularly scheduled Staincast soon. But enough fucking around. Enough! We're here to cover Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I've been horny for a week. It's fucking time. Holy shit.
In case you guys can't figure out, I think he's excited to do this episode.
It is literally my favorite movie of all time. It means so much for my childhood. It means so much for me as a person now. This movie is literal perfection. And let's talk about it.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm fucking not been down, baby. I've been sitting in front of my computer just waiting, bro. Just waiting for this for the magic to happen. And now here we are.
I've been beating my meat in my head since this fucking shit. I've been thinking about it.
I've been waiting for the chance to talk about this episode, bro. I've been waiting.
I mean, you can start us off then. Favorite character.
Favorite characters.
Let's get right into this business.
So, my favorite character... See, I want to go some other than Anakin and Obi-Wan, because I feel like those are the clear choices. I'm going to go Palpatine. I think he is just a pure scumbag in this movie. The way he manipulates Anakin, his whole entire plan from the beginning to the end, I just think Palpatine puts on a fucking performance. And I've watched this movie so many times, but I think that for some reason when I watched it this time for the Staincast, I've just noticed how fucking manipulative this guy is. And I feel like that just made me love his character so goddamn much. And don't get me wrong, Anakin and Obi-Wan are fucking great. But for some reason, Palpatine just hits for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's easy. I agree with you. Like, Anakin, I think I'm too far from my mic. Anakin and Obi-Wan are the forefront characters. So, I mean, like, it's going to be easy as hell to say, oh, okay, of course these characters are inspiring. These characters are interesting because that's their purpose. Like, but when you have Palpatine, this man is pulling every string imaginable. This man literally created a war against two people. And he was on both sides of them. It's like it can't be underappreciated how much fucking plotting he been doing since fucking episode 1. This is before episode 1. Like he's been plotting for the longest fucking time. And also that's
Darth Plagueis.
Bro, it's a tough ass look that he's been plotting for that long just to get fucking Darth Vader, like the robot Darth Vader. Like that's gotta fucking suck. Like he's been plotting to get Anakin because like obviously Anakin not in that fucking robotic suit. It's a whole nother animal. Darth Vader's still that man.
That's why he ended up wanting Luke afterwards.
I mean, he wanted that new car. He wanted that new car smell, and I respect that.
I mean, I can respect that.
Yeah, I just think it's funny. Like, whenever I see it, I'm like, damn, bro, this man Palpatine was pulling every string in the book just to get fucking, like, the inferior version of Anakin Skywalker. Because, I mean, he's still one with the Force and all that, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, when he does
not have nearly as much power. I was like,
Exactly.
That's the whole reason he can't do Force lightning is because of the suit.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, like, not to be exact numbers, but I feel like he's almost, like, kind of, like, on par with Palpatine when he's Darth Vader. But when he's Anakin Skywalker, he's literally infinite. Like, his power level
when he's Vader, he's weaker than Palpatine.
Oh, really? I mean, I guess because of the electricity with his suit. Like, if Palpatine electrocutes his ass, he's fucking done. I mean, he did. And he's done.
Yeah, he's weaker than Palpatine, but Anakin Skywalker as an Anakin, like, mech suit is more powerful than any Jedi or Sith that has existed.
I think another thing about Palpatine also that I want to mention is just his facial expressions. Every time he gives that fucking smirk that he gives, every single time he knows that he has Anakin wrapped around his finger, it's just like, this man's a scumbag.
He's the life and soul of the prequel trilogy. He's the life and soul of the fucking this entire trilogy. Because like the trilogy just ain't the same without him. Like I think that's why I honestly appreciated the earlier episodes so much because like, you didn't see Palpatine even in episode 1 when he's like fucking just a regular senator and then like he's trying to throw in his hat for the chancellor. It's like you can kind of see the plan coming together. Now obviously we have everything coming together and it's like this man is literally he's got a lightsaber to his back, and he's fucking still manipulating Anakin when he's like, "Are you going to kill me?" And he's like, "I would certainly like to." Of course. Are you going to turn me over to the Jedi Council?
Anger. It gives you focus.
It's like
makes you stronger.
Man is just cool, calm, and collected. He's got Anakin. Like, he could feel him that he wants him dead, and he's still being like, "Are you going to turn me over to the Jedi Council?" I would, or whatever he says. I know you. Of course, you should. But you're not sure of their intentions, are you? It's like, come on. It's like even when he's fucking supposed, even when he's supposed to be like in a corner, like he's still walking his way out. Like
he literally in that same scene, he goes, "Can I ask you something, son?" He calls Anakin son intentionally because he knows that this man has fucking mommy issues, doesn't have a father, and fucking he knows that word son because that's what he thinks of Palpatine as is a father figure. So he's just wrapping him around his fucking finger as much as he can.
Every little thing like that, just showing how he's like plotting every single little detail. It's like, damn, like I got respect for that. Had me rooting for him at some points.
Yeah, that one look he gave to him when he said the power to save Padme, and he's just like, and he's just fucking cheesing, like, yeah, like he's just fucking ridiculous. Like it can't, like, it's just one of those like characters. Like the more you look into it, the more you realize how much fucking shit he got cooking up. Like even
he did everything.
He is the Clone Wars.
I was like literally everything from him killing Darth Plagueis all the way through episode
the Death Star 2 being destroyed. Well, not being destroyed. He didn't plan on it being destroyed, but like the plans of the rebels trying to destroy it is him.
Yes. Literally everything up to that is him, and then technically
no,
is also him.
Nope.
I'll go with that, boss. I'll go with that.
That ain't happen.
Nope.
But that's for another time. We're here to talk about the best movie alive.
Who's your least favorite character, Mom?
Yeah, what was your least favorite?
I got a tie, to be honest with you. It's between Padme and Mace Windu, to be real with you. Mace Windu just seems like a scumbag. He's like disrespecting Anakin left and right for absolutely. Even when he senses that there's, the darkness in Anakin, it's just then you're still disrespecting him. It's like, bro, you're asking it to happen. And then just Padme, like I just feel like every scene with her is like a little cringy. She had like one line or a couple lines that were hidden, but like just in general, every single scene with her is just a little like it's like, all right, I don't really care.
It's the same thing that we talked about in the past
chemistry.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chemistry between Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman is non-existent.
Not there.
Because if you go and watch the Clone Wars, the chemistry between Anakin and Padme is good because the chemistry between those voice actors is actually fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that's their main issue. And Padme will forever be Natalie Portman, and Natalie Portman will forever be Padme. That's not going to change. That is still, unfortunately, the definitive version of the character. But her chemistry with Hayden is fucking awful, and they do nothing to help or nothing to add to it too. Because out of everything George Lucas can write, he does not know how to write a love story. He does not know how to write a dialogue between lovers, at all.
Yeah, no. He's a little bit too, that's out of his wheelhouse. His wheelhouse is making universes, not fucking trying to put A and B together, making them all fucking, that's just not his wheelhouse, which is fine. But, I mean, it's what we talked about it last week, Mom. It's just, especially in 2, you said you watched 2, right? You watched Attack of the Clones, right? Not recently, but you've seen it before. It's even worse if you watch it again. And I'm sure if you got pissed at it from this movie, don't even watch 2, bro.
Yeah, do not watch it.
It's pain.
This was redoing this for Staincast and not watching Star Wars for so long. It gave me a new appreciation for 1 and made 2, besides the sequels, the worst movie in the entire franchise.
That's
besides the sequels.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
But DL, you want to go next with your least favorite, and then I'll end this all.
So, I mean, I know I said it's a layup picking Anakin, but I mean, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to do it anyways because... I mean,
if you didn't do it, you fucking sure as hell knew I would, so...
Because, I mean, where do I even start with this man? So, obviously, this is his best movie as Anakin. Hayden Christensen's best movie. He fills into the role in this movie.
Killed it. absolutely fucking killed it.
George Lucas hit his stride in this movie. Like everything he imagined, it's like I'm sure he had big imaginations for 1 and 2, but like 3 is like him actually putting it on fucking screen, like the paper transitioning to the screen perfectly, literally.
Let's not also forget the CGI in this movie. Still
really
to this
good.
day looks phenomenal.
It's passable. Like it's very passable, with the exception of just one scene.
I was gonna say there's a couple scenes here or there that I can point out. Like for instance, when Obi-Wan rips open Grievous's like metal plating and you see his guts, that looks a little iffy.
Yeah.
But besides that, like it holds up. The starfighter scenes,
the space scenes look really fucking good.
That whole opening 15-20 minutes, so tough.
I was gonna save that for the make moment because that.
We'll talk about that
more. But Dio, continue with that. Please.
So for anyone who doesn't know, I played him for Halloween. Unrelated, but
we're posting.
Oh, yeah. So I played him for Halloween. If that gives you a little bit more insight into my appreciation for him, but I mean, I talked about it last episode. Anakin over Luke. It's just there's so much more interest in his character. I don't know, maybe it's just because I grew up with Anakin compared to like watching what's his name, Mark Hamill. Like it's just a difference of upbringing and stuff like that. I'm sure people who were born with the original trilogy, they probably identify more with Luke. Whatever. His story is just so fucking interesting. Like how he's like. I mean, he's like what 21 in this movie, 20 years old in this movie, and he's being told he's literally the chosen one, the one who's going to save the universe from the dark side. It's like he was
being told he was the chosen one since episode
he was a kid.
1.
Yeah, since he was a kid. It's like that, the amount of weight you put on someone, and then you expect him to turn out all right. And honestly, he didn't turn out that bad. He didn't turn out that bad. Like he could have been. Yeah, he literally could have been so much worse, and I think that's what's so interesting about the guy. I mean, he's self-aware of the fact that he even straight up says at one point, like, I'm not becoming the Jedi I'm supposed to be or whatever. It's like I want more. It's like at least he's conscious of the fact that like this man's literally fucking a walking fucking power cell. Or when it comes to the Force, like he is the Force. Like he's just. I don't know, man. I could talk about Anakin all fucking day. We basically just sum it up.
I'll add to it. So
the performance by Hayden Christensen, definitely, like I said, his best performance. His chemistry with Obi-Wan, best in this movie, no surprise. Just everything, like he just brings so much to the betrayal, and of course that ending scene where him and like the fight scene, the way they're looking at each other is just perfect. They're like when Anakin's fucking like when he just screams like "I hate you" to Obi-Wan, like it's just so much emotion and what like. It's what we were missing in 2 when like he's supposed to be sad that his mother just got fucking basically crucified by these fucking hideous ass fucking Tusken Raiders and like yeah sure we feel him but he's like I hate them like it's just too whiny where it should be more angry like he should be fucking pissed off like the way he is in this movie and I mean I'll let you pick up on it heck when you get to it but what are you gonna say?
I was saying the difference of him saying they're animals and I slaughtered them like animals and then him screaming fucking I hate you exactly. Like literally night and day difference.
And I'm sure he got
just like the facial expressions, just the whole mannerism that he holds himself as Anakin just throughout the entire movie. Just every little thing he does, you can just see the emotion, not only the way he says it, but just the way that he's acting, and he's like you can see the conflict within him, and I feel like I love that so much.
Oh, deal. Just so it flows better, I'm going to continue. I'm just going to pick up where you left off before you get into your least favorite character.
That works.
It's just like you were saying, Mumbro. Like you can see every bit of emotion on Hayden's face. You can see the pain he's in when he's debating on if he should stay at the Jedi Temple or if he should go to the Senate to try and save Palpatine. You can see the anger he has behind Obi-Wan when he spots him coming out of Padme's ship all posted as fuck.
It's just that little look up he gives.
Yeah. You see it. You could see his confusion. You feel his betrayal from the Jedi Council when Mace Windu says that he is not a master. And this is also coming straight. Like this takes place like a month or 2 after Ahsoka got kicked out for no reason. So like this just like Clone Wars, of course, helping to build upon this. This is why I love this era of Star Wars. And Hayden just sells the whole performance. His chemistry with everybody, he like the jokes he makes are great. And you just feel for Anakin because he's just getting played. He's getting played by Palpatine. He's getting played by the Jedi Council. He's getting played by himself. Like he's conflicted, and you feel every single bit of it, and you can relate to it because we've all had pressure from whether it's our parents or teachers, professors, bosses, like no matter what it is, like you feel that pressure that Anakin feels, and it's
Absolutely.
it's phenomenal. And the way that George Lucas wrote it, the way that he directed it, the way that Hayden performed it, every bit of it just makes it masterful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
Sounds
can't
like
agree
someone's
anymore.
Sounds like someone has a fucking electric toothbrush going right now. Someone's brushing. I think it's your fans, Mumbrella, probably.
I
On your
think it
computer.
is, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you can't do anything about that. Whatever.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, no. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I mean, like you said, Ag, you nailed it out of the park with basically everything I was gonna say. I'm gonna have to pick up the ladder for your least favorite character, Mama, for Mace Windu, because I fucking hate Mace Windu. Rest in fucking piss to his bitch ass. I don't care who's saying he's alive. He's fucking dead because he got his hand chopped off, electrocuted, and tossed out a fucking window.
Off the building. Yeah.
If he survives that, I'll fucking. I will eat an entire can of sardines on camera if at any point in the future that man is alive.
I mean,
I wouldn't
it's
say
Disney
that
Star Wars. It's Disney Star Wars, so it's the most fucking
look. If that has to happen,
disconnected.
unfortunately, it has to happen. But there's no way in hell that
somehow Mace Windu returned.
No.
No.
All right. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, so I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like he's like the embodiment of what's wrong with the Jedi. It's like they're supposed to be like these selfless, like super fucking. They don't care about others. Like they're supposed to be selfless. They're supposed to be only like outward thinking, outward feeling. But he's literally the complete opposite of that. He's fucking super arrogant, super jealous of Anakin being fucking a master at his age, being the chosen one. Like just everything about Mace Windu's character is the reason why the Jedi need to go.
Screams.
Exactly. It's like the fact that you can. I mean, like it's just I can't overemphasize how fucking disrespectful it was that they put him on the council and didn't make him a master. Like it's just so
it's unheard of. It's uncalled for.
It's just vile. Like at that point, just tell the chancellor to go fuck off. Like at that point, like the fact that you're going to put him on the council just to and then embarrass him in front of the entire council, be like, you're allowed on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master. So he's basically like the fucking substitute teacher or whatever you want to call it. Like he's the fucking fill-in. Like. Just a man who's already super conflicted. Like I'm sure everyone in that room could feel the hatred that's building up after him saying that,
pouring from him.
Yeah,
we could feel it, and we're not even Force users.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I think another thing also is like when Anakin tells him, like, I think Palpatine is like a Sith Lord, and then he's like, "Can I go with you?" And he's like, "No, if you're right, then you gain my trust." I was like, "Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? This man literally told you that he's a Sith Lord." It's like, come on now.
Mace Windu's a fucking idiot, man. Then when he's like, I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi, like, you don't fucking say. It's like, wow. The dark side of the Force surrounds the Chancellor. So fucking do something about it. Like the man, like the Jedi.
Don't send Anakin, who you think is conflicted, to fucking help him.
Yeah, like it's like
exactly.
And then Yoda's like, with great care, we must take it in this situation or whatever. Literally does the opposite. Does the fucking opposite. And then when you have Mace Windu, when he's fucking fighting off against Palpatine, when Palpatine's literally saying like, I have the power to save the one you love. And Mace Windu's just like, don't listen to him. It's like, come on. Like, seriously? This man's offering to save his wife and you're just like, don't listen to that. Like, come on, man. Like, he's a fucking...
You could have done better.
He's a fucking dirtbag, and he don't give two shits about Anakin or fucking the Jedi Order for that. He cares about the power that it fucking gives him. So, fuck you, Mace Windu. You a bitch. Honestly,
piggybacking off your piggyback, DL, I have to give it to the entire Jedi Council.
Yeah, they get me tight.
Because the entirety, like they get me tight. They go from talking about Force stuff, why they don't want to make Anakin a master, how the dark side surrounds the Chancellor, and then their next sentence that comes out of their mouth is, "What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?" Because we care about losing a political system more than something that actually deals with the Jedi, the light and the dark, because that's it. All they care about is being fucking the fucking police cops for the Republic. That's all they care about. When realistically, they should work for either side of the war.
Yeah. They're drunk off power. Like that's the story of the Jedi. It's like they got it and now they don't want to give it up. It's like Palpatine was right on the fucking nose of it. Like just because Palpatine's evil, I mean, it's also a point of view. Like that's the whole point of Star Wars, that evil and good is a point of view. It's like just because Palpatine's a bad person doesn't mean he's fucking wrong about the Jedi. He's 100% right. And even when Mace Windu's like fucking when he's already cooking up his plan to fucking the Jedi will have to take control of the Senate or whatever it was. Like when they're plotting on kicking Palpatine out of office, it's like. Talk about not being the peacekeepers. Like, what kind of fucking peacekeepers
why are you controlling the Senate? Why are you guys
like what kind of peacekeepers are plotting a fucking coup against the Emperor? It's like, damn, bro.
The entire Jedi Council, and then on top of that, they all fucking get washed.
Nah, bro.
I mean,
don't get me started. I hate that shit. I hate that scene so much.
Get Fisto and the other two, I don't even know, bother learning their names. Get fucking iced in one hit apiece. Mace Windu gets washed.
No, he just got out chess, but he got outmatched like on the chessboard because obviously Palpatine knew Anakin was coming. Like Mace could have beaten his ass, I think. Honestly, yeah, it's up for debate.
I don't know.
It's up for debate because Mace has that one fucking form that he has that like fucking that stupid ass fucking you could use the dark side against dark side users or whatever. That stupid dumb shit. So,
but when you break it down, like Mace Windu is one of the weakest on the council.
Yeah, no. That's an interesting fight that we never get. That and Anakin versus Yoda, I'm pissed that we never get. Because I would love to see Anakin versus Yoda, bro. That shit would go crazy.
That would be
crazy. I don't
shit
think
would go
that
crazy.
happened in Legends. Like, I don't think there's any form of Anakin.
Which is a fucking tragedy. Tragedy.
That would have been an epic fight to see.
Mm-hmm. Like, that shit would have been, like obviously Anakin Skywalker versus fucking Yoda, not Darth Vader. Because Yoda would fucking, he's too nimble for him.
Wash Vader.
Absolutely.
But this is why I'm excited we're finally, like, getting, like, whenever the Acolyte comes out and some of the other stuff that's been coming out, that we're finally getting stuff in, like, the High Republic. The height of the Jedi actually being fucking Jedi. Because... Like once you get to the prequels, they've fallen so far off their path, and of course, like this movie is where they get destroyed, where they break it down. But when you go through Clone Wars and then you go through this, like you see what how much Palpatine has manipulated every single Jedi, and has torn that system, I guess, for lack of a better word, to shreds.
Yeah.
I mean, he played the long game with
Absolutely. That was the long game. Like
for a minute.
Yeah, it's like, and then he's just like, I'm gonna make myself the Emperor now, and ain't nobody doing shit about it because there ain't no Jedi to protect you. Like that shit goes hard. Like he had that shit cooking, bro. That shit fire. Like that speech he gave was
into the first galactic empire.
For safe and secure society. And he just fucking lifts his hands up and everyone like, that shit's so good.
There's so many scenes like that throughout the movie too. It's just
the Imperial March is used so much in this movie and it works every single time.
The soundtrack is hitting, bro. Like every great scene behind that scene, the soundtrack is fucking pulling its weight. Like any scene that you can think about, it's like, all right, what makes the scene so great? The soundtrack is fucking 2 or 1 or 2, like 1A, 1B.
Speaking of great scenes, we might as well just hop right into make or break moments. We're already sliding into it because exactly when you say that, DL, about music making a great scene, I'm thinking about Anakin and Padme. Well, she's looking out the Senate building. He's looking out of the Jedi Temple. It's intercut with Mace pulling up on Palpatine, and you have a beautiful score behind it. You have Palpatine whispers like, "If I die."
But whatever he says, like if the Jedi get me, I won't be able to save her.
You won't be able to save your wife. And then like that little tear that he sheds, and just like that is the. When I think of this movie, that is the first scene that pops into my head because it is beautiful. Like that is my favorite scene in this entire movie.
I mean, like that's what Star Wars is missing now is the fact that they're just fucking like they're just putting the camera on these actors and they're doing the rest. Like there's no Finn character coming around tossing, dumping fucking plot on you. Like it's literally just Anakin and Padme switching the scene between the two of them. It's like Anakin doesn't have to say, "I'm sad." Like you can fucking see it in his face. Like you
feel it. Like
exactly.
There is no dialogue besides that one Palpatine line in that entire scene, and you feel every bit of emotion.
I mean, just think about Darth Vader. We talk about it all the time. The fact that his fucking, you could see like the emo, like his face, like the conflict in his face in certain scenes. Like he's a fucking robot, man. Like his face is literally a mask, but you could still see his face behind it. Like you can still feel the emotion. Like that's what Star Wars has lost now that they're fucking corpo. Like they've gone corporate. It's like it's a damn fucking shame, but it's like I don't know. Somewhere along the way,
you're not gonna get performances and stories like you've gotten.
No. I mean, because it's not a space opera anymore. Like Star Wars is a space opera at its core, and it's not that anymore. Like the whole point is that the music and the action are intertwined. Like there is no one without the other. Like they're the yin and yang. Like that's Star Wars. The music followed by the action. Like they're both fucking together. And now it's just they got him. They got Chewie.
We're not talking about that right now.
We off that.
But even continue. Like there's a lot of scenes that are like that. I mean, even we open Mumbrella. I know you want to talk about this.
Yeah,
we open
that
on the first and only pan down in the entire franchise, going from the title crawl.
mm,
Don't even try to think of it, DL. I know it.
Okay.
yeah,
I
I'm
won't,
gonna
I
take your
won't
word
think
for
that.
it.
I was thinking. I was
so-
thinking about 5.
It's up. But Mumbrella, if you would like to go into more depth of the opening scene, because it's masterful and it throws you into the movie.
It literally is like what you think about when you think of Star Wars. Like literally just Anakin and Obi-Wan working together in like literally Star Wars. It's just the way they play off each other, little jokes they have while they're battling. Just so everyone just seems like so.
It's genuine. It's like you can
It's
actually
so
believe that these
genuine.
guys have been fighting in this war for like what is it, 2-3 years or whatever it was. You can actually feel that.
And that's with even not having to watch Clone Wars. Like you don't like Mumbrella. You've never seen Clone Wars before, right?
I have not, no.
And like you still feel and like all of this with all these characters.
Exactly. Like you still can feel the relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan. The fact that like even though like Obi-Wan's like ship is getting all fogged up, like he doesn't leave him. He still tries to protect him and save him. Even like when they like when they're saving Palpatine and like leave him, he's like, no, his fate will be the same as ours. Like that, you can just feel the chemistry between Obi-Wan and Anakin, and it's just like you even if you don't watch anything, like I haven't watched Clone Wars, you still see how I love how cocky they are too. Like they know like they're the shit. They're gonna
Because the Jedi are just a cheat code in this universe. They're just a fucking cheat code. Like everything a normal person can't do, a Jedi just excels at for no fucking reason. Like when they're fighting on Mustafar, it's like they're just eating lava. It's like fuck it,
Literally.
fuck it. The
Well, at
Force.
least we're flying half a ship.
Yeah, I mean that landing is ridiculous.
This is where the fun begins.
Yeah.
Another happy landing.
Now we're really picking up speed. It's like, bro, you're not even flying this. He even said himself, he's not flying it. He's just fucking guiding it.
I'm sure at this point the ability to fly this thing is inconsequential.
It's irrelevant.
Irrelevant, yeah.
He's literally just fucking holding the fucking stick like this just so it doesn't fucking veer off. Like it's literally all he's doing. He ain't flying shit.
That whole
that's
entire
just-
scene
that's
is
just
just
gas.
it gets you like I love how it just throws you in there too. Like you
I was
immediately
gonna
start
say,
up
yeah.
in there. There's no like filler or nothing. You're just immediately thrown in there,
And it really doesn't stop after. Like this movie's kind of just always on the move. Like this movie's always doing something.
Like there's no point in the movie where you feel like, all right, this scene is dragging on. Like it continually moves
Like,
forward.
that's
There's
true, like-
always
It is
something
2.5 hours of constant either action or just such in-depth storytelling. Because I would say the only part that some people could consider slow is that section from when they land until Obi-Wan pulls up on Utapau, because it's when Anakin gets promoted to the Jedi Council, when they're literally just doing a bunch of back and forth between the Senate building and the Jedi Temple. Like it's literally all they're doing. We find out that Padme's pregnant. We find out that he's having nightmares of her dying, and like that's the only part. But again, it's only like 15 minutes, so it feels like nothing. Because then we jump right into the wonderful Utapau scene, and then we hop into Darth Plagueis, and then of course that just tumbles from there.
From there, it's just a full-on sprint, and like, there's just nonstop action going on.
Once you hit like 45 minutes into the movie, the last like hour and a half is straight action.
I mean, there's so many great. It's like you said. As soon as you get past that certain threshold, like it's just kind of just you can. It's fucking the world is your oyster when it comes to picking your favorite scene. Like the one thing I will say, I mean, obviously, the Order 66 scene is fucking amazing, and I wanted to ask you, Hag. I mean, Mumbrella, you've probably seen a couple other ones too, but is this your favorite Order 66 scene, Hag? You think, or do you have another one that's calling your name?
Oh, okay.
Because like they've really fleshed it out. Like there's been 4,
A lot.
5.
So we've had Episode 3, Bad Batch, Clone Wars. Spoiler alert, Mumbrella.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. Mando season 3 has a new one now. Obi-Wan. I think it's just that.
Okay. So out of those 6.
Okay. So right off the table, Obi-Wan's and Bad Batch's are off. It's not Obi-Wan's is kind of mid
compared to the other ones.
Yeah, comparatively. Bad Batch's is still good, and especially like as someone who's seen Rebels and like seeing how Kanan evolves from that, fine. But again, comparative to the other ones we've gotten, not as great. The one in Mando season 3 is good, but it doesn't really do much for me. It just
Okay.
tells us, how Grogu actually escaped and who saved him. It doesn't do much for me. Then going into, I'm going to say the next one's probably Fallen Order, because Fallen Orders is tough. You're with Cal for a while, you really feel the Order 66 scene in that movie, but
game
in that games, yes, thank you. But again, comparative to this
and Clone Wars,
I think I have to give my favorite to Clone Wars.
Yeah, Clone Wars is just, I mean, you can't, it's just almost unfair. Like, Clone Wars, you have 8 seasons or whatever it is, and that's the payoff. It's like, that's just, you can't touch that. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Like, those last 4 episodes of Clone Wars, I can compare to Revenge of the Sith. I mean, they take place at the same time,
that fucking,
obviously. It is literally, like, those two are the most perfect pieces of Star Wars media possible.
I mean, literally, it's so tough when Maul's just sitting in his cell, just, like, keeping one eye open, just seeing if
the clay... he feels it.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh... And then all of a sudden,
and then it pans to Ahsoka, and then we hear the lines from this movie.
Yeah, from Palpatine.
I've been told I had to tap into Clone Wars.
The first season.
Literally, if you watch, you don't need to watch anything besides the final 3 seasons, because you need to see Ahsoka get kicked out, and then you need to see the Siege on Mandalore. Speaking of which, DL, I did want to discuss with you, and we can see what if the fans want to hear this as well. If we just covered the Siege of Madalore, the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars.
I mean, I'd be fucking with that. I mean, obviously, Clone Wars itself is a fucking monstrous. Like, it's a mountain of.
No, I don't like. We don't have to cover because Clone Wars is too much.
Yeah.
But just those last 4 episodes of Clone Wars.
I wouldn't be mad. I mean, we can gauge some interest, but I ain't mad at that. I mean, the Siege of Madalore is super fucking interesting. It's peak Star Wars, so.
It is. I mean, it just goes with this so well. But to answer your question, DL, I think I have to give it to Clone Wars. I don't know if you have anything different.
So I'm going to give it to...
Umbrella, your computer is cooking right now.
Yeah, you can hear the fucking hard drive. That's the hard drive. You can hear the fucking needle right now.
I honestly, if you're not talking, do you mind muting yourself?
I got you.
Good looks.
Damn, you're fucking putting him in fucking exile. Into exile, I must go. Failed, I have. That's literally mum right now. I mean, I'm just gonna give it a tie just right now because I don't want to keep like going into it because I mean, there's so much to break down from both those Order 66, and I think they're both so wholesome for the.
You're talking about this and
Clone Wars, yeah. Episode 3, it's like they both do their own thing. Like obviously, I feel like this one is more centered around getting like the Jedi Masters and like the more important Jedi you've seen getting killed in Episode 3 because it's a movie. Like you only have to do the broad strokes.
But Clone Wars, you feel it from the clones.
No, but I mean, yes. I was going to say like the fact it's Rex, right? Yeah, so Rex, it's like just like when he takes his helmet off, and you could just see like there's so much going on with
find him.
Yeah, like but it's so much. I think it's more emotional because I mean, obviously, like I said, there's 7 seasons of Clone Wars, 7 seasons of building this rapport with these fucking characters. So it's like obviously there's so much more to break down. But I mean, I'll call it a tie just because Episode 3, like putting it in live action, it just has so much.
And that's something I will say. Like, I do appreciate that we're getting more of these in Mando and Obi-Wan and stuff. Because, like, again, this is my favorite era. So I'm gonna keep so I'll take any of it I can get. But just seeing more of Order 66 in modern live action Star Wars hits different. Seeing Coruscant in we got Coruscant in Andor, we got Coruscant in Mando season 3, we got Coruscant in Obi-Wan. I will take any bit to see all of Coruscant. I will see any bit of Coruscant I can take.
I think the only one that I've seen would be like the one in Mandalorian. Just seeing like from a different point of view, Order 66, and seeing like how Grogu experienced that. Like I think that just alone.
Are you caught up to season 3 on Mando?
I'm not. No, I'm not caught up.
Okay,
all the way to season 3.
They flesh it up even more.
Do they actually?
3. Yes.
Damn, I do have to tap into that. I do.
Yeah, I gotta tap into it too. I've just been watching other shit. Like it's literally been on my fucking list. I mean, because
Mando season. So if you like Mandalorians and DL, you watching Clone Wars and knowing who Bo-Katan is more than Mumbarilla, I think we'll appreciate it a little bit more. But if you enjoy Mandalorians and the lore behind Mandalore and all that,
baby girl, bro,
that's true. You'll really appreciate season 3 because we're on episode 6 drops tonight actually.
Okay.
So
how many episodes? How many episodes? You know,
the usual 8.
Okay. I'll probably just wait till it finishes then.
Yeah, I mean we're on
like the first 3 episodes, so I think I still got to catch up a little bit.
We're on 6 already, so I mean it's 2 more weeks and it's over. So
Okay.
Yeah, there's some time.
And the one final thing I'll say on the make moments, like my favorite moment, it's got to be the editing on the final scene, the Yoda, Palpatine, and Anakin, Obi-Wan. Like and then the splicing of Darth Vader and Palpatine, like one life ending, another one starting. Like that shit is.
Padme, you mean?
Yeah, Padme and fucking Vader. Like
Vader.
The music, the fucking the switches, like going from Padme fucking suffering, then you have Vader. Oh my god, like there's so much. It's so well done. Like I can't say that enough. Like I feel like I'm spinning my wheels here. But I mean, like
it's true though. Like this is a masterpiece. When I think of Star Wars, this is what comes to mind. Everything in this. When I think of Jedi, Sith, anything, it boils down to this movie.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much to love about the final, like probably like 40 minutes of the movie or whatever. Whenever Padme goes to Mustafar, basically, is like that's when that shit just hits the fucking fan. And just literally like even the final scene of the movie, like the fucking the binary sons with fucking Uncle Owen holding Luke,
Owen and Beru.
Whoo,
that scene to cap off the prequel is just absolutely
and then it just ends
amazing.
Like yeah.
And then I mean, of course, how could we forget? Anakin falling to the dark side. As a whole, the scene that literally all I see is a YouTube video now. Like that scene's not.
That's why I didn't talk about it because it's not in the movie. I wish it was, but it's not.
It literally isn't in the movie anymore, just because of how much we've watched that scene alone. But I can quote that. Speaking of which, we might as well hop into those.
I got a list of them.
Yeah, I said. Did you guys have any breaks? I mean, like my breaks were more. My breaks were more. I mean, of course not for Hag, but I mean, my. What were you gonna say, Mom?
My breaks are a little nitpicky. I have like one. It's like a little bit of a nitpicky one, but like when Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting, when they do the little lightsaber thing and they're like swinging the sword around on their side.
The Obi-Wan spin.
I don't know why. Like it's just like I gotta take a step back.
It's called George Lucas couldn't do that shit in the OT.
No.
He wanted to flex that he could do it.
No. Listen. So you want to know why that makes sense? Why thematically, Matt? Like it makes sense.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a reason behind it. Tell me what is it?
So. Obi-Wan trained Anakin. They've sparred so many times. They know their own moves to the point where they just did the same move at the same time because that's how alike they are.
I believe
they're literal brothers. We see it again.
Sense, yeah.
We see it again in the flashback in Obi-Wan. Anakin just knows. I'm sorry. Obi-Wan just knows every single move that Anakin's gonna make.
Yeah, Anakin's also a fucking stupid dirty fighter, bro. He's so dirty. What he did to Dooku was so slimy, and you can't even. For those who didn't see what he did to him, he literally grabbed his fucking arms like this, like he grabbed his arms so he couldn't fucking move his lightsaber, then chopped it. Like the most slimy, because like Dooku's a fucking he's an old fashioned swordsman kind of guy where he would rather die than fucking do something like that. So Anakin just fucking saw that, and he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna play dirty because I mean Dooku would probably outduel his ass, probably not force wise, but duel wise, yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, because his fighting style is more like fencing.
Yeah, exactly. Like Dooku could do that shit all day. Not to fucking quote my man Cap, but it just gets me tight because like I fuck with Dooku. Dooku's lightsaber, besides Kylo's, is my favorite. I love the bend, the way he draws it too, the way he fucking like that shit's fire, and the way he did him. Nah, and then when he keeps punching and kicking Obi-Wan, like it's so annoying. It's like I get. That, especially when you're fighting Obi-Wan, like when you're literally fighting a mirror image of yourself, I'd get pretty frustrated too because like you're trying to hit him and he knows exactly where you're gonna hit. So it's like, but Anakin's a dirty motherfucker. I respect it, but
like the fact that Obi-Wan and Anakin didn't hit each other at all with a lightsaber until the end.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how rare that is in any lightsaber duel? Even the ones that we've seen on screen, people have gotten hit by lightsabers.
I mean, because at some point, like you got to just fucking break someone's someone just got to be in the wrong spot or mispredicting. Like I don't know.
Exactly. So it's like the fact that these two are so alike that they had this entire duel going over the entire planet.
Mm-hmm.
That of course, then Vader building his fucking castle on this is so epic, and we'll get into that next week when we cover Rogue One.
I didn't realize that Nur is the moon of Mustafar. I didn't realize they're right beside each other, like where the Fortress Inquisitoris is. Like that planet, like when they're pulling up to Mustafar to the left of it, that's Nur. I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, you see that more in Fallen Order because you see Mustafar when you're flying to that planet.
Oh, okay.
That's why they focus on it. What other fucking lava planet are they gonna focus on like that in Fallen Order?
I guess makes sense. But where were we? I mean, did
Yeah,
you?
I don't have any more break moments. That's just like the one little nitpick one that I got, but
Mhm.
otherwise, like this movie is just
Yeah,
it never
Just like I
takes you
said,
out of it.
yeah, like I said, my headcanon is George Lucas fucking has wanting to get that nut off since fucking Revenge of the Return of the Jedi. That fucking swinging shit. He's been needing that for a
Yeah.
long time, and he's like, "Fuck it, I get to do it. I get to do it," and then he did it. So what I said is that stupid ass fucking like camera that's following Anakin around when Obi-Wan's checking like the security footage and like it's just following Anakin
Like the little
around.
hologram thing.
Yeah, that makes no
Security
sense.
hologram?
Absolutely no sense.
It's just following his ass around, and then first of all, that dumb shit, and then you have a scene from Palpatine saying something in the episode. Now, Lord Vader, rise and bring peace to the galaxy. He doesn't even fucking say that, and I would know because I've seen that scene more times than some people have seen movies in general. So,
I agree.
I did notice that too. Yeah.
it's not a big deal. I'm just saying like that's something that like when I saw it, I was like, because like it's something. It's a question of why. It's like you made this movie at the same exact time. Why is he saying a different line of dialogue now?
You're fulfilling your destiny, Anakin.
That's the answer, everybody.
Become my apprentice. Learn to use the dark side of the Force. I will do whatever you ask.
And like at first it like shook me, but now that I've seen it so many times, I just don't even care anymore. But like, what's up with that VFX on his voice, man? Not
It's
VFX,
ridiculous.
SFX. It's that sound effects on his voice. Like,
I kind of fuck with it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not mad at it, but like, there's just no instance of it ever. Exactly, like there's no instance of that
actually-
ever happening again. It's a continuity thing. It's not a fucking like, why is he doing that?
It's more of a continuity, yeah, because his voice is never like that again.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds cool. I actually fuck with it. I agree with you, Mom. Like, it sounds cool where he's like, "Goo," like he has like that reverb on his voice. Like that shit sounds fire. But it's like that would be something that he'd probably do when fucking
Any other time.
Yeah.
I have one more break actually. Why the fuck does Palpatine open his mouth when he fucking puts his hood on? When he just
some questions will never be answered, and I don't want the answer to that question.
I think
every time
that just boils down to I've seen this scene too many times, but every time I see it, I just notice that he opens his mouth for no reason.
There's so many things I have questions about that I don't want the answers to. Like, why have I seen that scene so many times? That's one of them. That's definitely at the top of the list.
I think we should run it back from Dark Side of the.
Yeah. How about DL? You give us your favorite quotes instead. Because this episode's 45 minutes long. We're only 3 sections in.
Fuck me, hell, man. Jesus.
That's what happens when you have a masterpiece of movie like this.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right.
And the one thing I will say real quick, the CGI thing I was talking about was Palpatine's face when he's fighting Mace Windu. That looks really bad, but
that's also true.
You don't.
I was also say the CGI kind of when Yoda and Palpatine are fighting against each other and Yoda like pushes him with the Force, then he kind of like flying around. That looks a little weird to me. Also, that's a little.
I love when he flies into that chair and he just
It just looks a little. It's funny. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little funky to me. I don't know.
It's so powerful.
Yeah.
Why leave?
Fuck you, Hag. I had that shit underlined and bolded. Fuck you. That's the hardest verse the hardest fucking quote in the entire damn movie. At least for me, just because I don't know. When I was a kid, I just loved that fucking quote because it's just so ridiculous. Because like Palpatine's talking all this shit, and then he's fucking trying to jump to get out of there.
That's Palpatine's thing. Is he always talks his shit and he just sprints as soon as
and literally he's talking. I've been waiting a long time for this, and all of a sudden Yoda fucking gets up, pushes his ass. He's like, "Wait a minute, I don't want this," and then he fucking tries to jump, and Yoda cuts him off, and he's like, "If so powerful you are, why leave?" And then he fucking and the way Yoda draws his lightsaber is cold every single time without fail. Every episode, he
like pulls back his cloak a little bit. Like,
and then he grabs it. It's cold, bro. It's cold as fuck. Another quote from that scene where he's like, "At an end, your rule is, and not short enough it was." Like
that shit hard.
Yoda, like I said in every other episode, whenever Yoda's on screen, we listen.
He is chatting.
Yeah, like he is.
I mean, that one scene with him and Anakin. In that whatever confessional chamber, whatever the fuck that is.
No, that should get me tight though. When he's like, attachment leads to jealousy, the shadow of greed. That is. It's like, fuck you. It's like, what are you talking about, man? Like that is literally dogma, like the Jedi dogma in a fucking nutshell. It's like they don't even know what they're saying anymore. They just know that like that's the way it's always been done, and they don't question it. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about? Attachment leads.
They're just saying stuff at this point.
Like it's true, sure, from like if you want to put it like that, but it's like being attached to something is not the path to the dark side. Like that shit's such a blown out of proportions, like fucking freaking space monk concept.
like so many Jedi have attachment too.
That's why they failed.
Has 4 wives.
That's why they failed, though. It's because they don't practice what they preach. They're literally just sitting there fucking saying shit that sounds cool, but then when it comes to actually doing it,
they're saying it's Anakin because he's the chosen one.
Mm-hmm. They're like, oh yeah, it's like you have to follow by our rules, but nobody else does. It's like, yeah, that's a good way to treat someone, especially someone as conflicted and just straight up evil as Anakin. Like that man's evil.
It's ridiculous.
I have one more quote. When Grievous fucking in the beginning, when Grievous he's like, you lose, and then he like jumps out of the ship and he crawls back up. And he's like, time to abandon ship. I for some reason when I thought of that, that's every Jets fan when Aaron Rodgers doesn't get fucking traded to
time to jump ship.
Yeah, time to abandon ship. Fucking Giants fan.
That's literally gonna be Mumbrilla soon.
Yeah, if that trade doesn't happen, like it's time to abandon ship. Up to the Giants real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Burning all the Jets jerseys.
When I was at work earlier, fucking they had ESPN on the screen. And the big headline was, when should we be worried when the Jets-Packers trade doesn't go through? Like, that was just big headline.
I can go on and on about this. Yeah, right now, to be honest, I'm already sweating.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like to chop it up real quick.
Yeah, Mom don't like to speak on it.
I don't want to. I can't see that anymore.
So I could run another 45 minutes talking about Aaron Rodgers.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to.
But Mom, would you like to go to some of your quotes next?
So this is how Liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
The only hard Padme quote.
I was just gonna say that the only hard scene that Padme has. When she said that, I was like, okay, like your one shining moment is that.
And it's hard too. Like that's a fucking hard ass quote, but it's like it took too long. Three movies too late.
Chancellor Palpatine, Sith Lords are a speciality.
Then
proceeds to get one shot by Dooku.
Like he's never beaten a Sith Lord. Like sure he beat Maul, but Maul ain't a Sith Lord. Maul is a fucking apprentice.
Maul's barely anything.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I meant to say it last episode because this shit is literally one of the funniest things in all of Star Wars. When Obi-Wan's fighting Dooku, when they pull up, and he literally swings his blade at him like 3 times, like Master Kenobi, you disappoint me. Like literally, after fighting with the man for less than 30 seconds, he's already throwing in the towel on his ass. Like that shit is
like, damn, you're washed.
Yeah, exactly.
Qui-Gon failed.
I don't know why it's so funny, but I forgot to say that last week. It's literally one of the funny scenes in all of Star Wars. Like it's like fucking fighting someone for 30 seconds. I'm just being like, damn, you're shit. Like it's just so disrespectful. Especially Obi-Wan.
He's violating him.
It's like, especially when like if he says to Anakin, whatever, he's a Padawan, whatever. Like Obi-Wan's like especially even like he said, Qui-Gon holds him in such high esteem. It's like, damn, he's a wash. Like I don't know, that shit's too funny. But did you have any other quotes, Mom?
So uncivilized.
Yes, sir.
It's just all those little one lines. I fucking love them so much. They're literally all just littered throughout the whole entire movie. They're so good.
Yeah. Next move, spring the trap.
Jedi scum.
Try not to upset him.
How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
The negotiator. General Kenobi. That wasn't much of a rescue.
And Anakin Skywalker.
You always gotta get the call.
Bro, that cop was so disgusting
someone with
every
your
single time.
reputation to be a little older. General Grievous, you're shorter than I expected.
Jedi scum. Now, the nastiest cough in the entire movie is right before he talks to Palpatine when he lands on Utapau, when he gets that cough out before he turns on the fucking FaceTime call or whatever. That was like the most ghastly. Like he was like he was fucking having an asthma attack, man. Like
he sounded like me in the box.
He had to get his fucking inhaler.
Yeah, exactly. He's like it's like he's just always suffering. Like, what an existence.
I mean, for me though, almost this entire movie is quotable. I mean, you guys didn't say the obvious ones like I brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
Yeah, I could say
that goes without saying. That goes without saying.
Obi-Wan saying hello there. That goes without saying. The entirety of Darth Plagueis. That goes without saying. He is here. We are being held hostage. They are watching us.
I understand.
10th level. Thousands of biggie bags. I don't hear anything but biggie bags.
I can't watch the scene the same. I can't.
Like, I mean, that's another scene that's just ingrained into my brain.
Yeah, that's just headcanon taking over. Like he says Biggie Bags. I don't care what anybody says. You can
Yeah,
turn on.
It's
You can
not
turn on.
Bellgoers, it's Biggie Bags.
Yeah, you can turn on closed captionings if you'd like. Doesn't
still
change the
says
fact that he
Biggie
says
Bags.
Biggie Bags.
And like, he still says Biggie Bags.
I got one more quote. It's Master Skywalker. There's too many of them. What are we to do? And he gets fucking slaughtered.
Ooh, yeah. No, actually got another really good one too. Fucking Anakin is the father, isn't he? I'm so sorry. Like that shit when Obi-Wan says to Padme, cold, bro. It's like, damn. It's like basically saying, yeah, I'm gonna go kill this man now. It's like, I'm sorry, I gotta kill the fucking father of that child.
Anakin's turned to the dark side. He's killing younglings, then covers his mouth so he doesn't fucking laugh. So
tough quotes.
Yeah, like you said, Hag. Everything that's
the
like
entire movie is quotable.
Like anything that's like has a direct effect on the storyline, I feel like it's not like side dialogue or anything is so tough. Like everything
Even some of the side dialogue is fucking ridiculous.
Do not hesitate. Show
no mercy.
The attempt of my life is left
the Sith will rule the galaxy. And we shall have peace. Yeah, I could go on and on. We don't need to anymore. Mm-hmm. This movie is just phenomenal through and through.
The whole entire speech of Darth Plagueis the Wise is also just absurd.
But I guess we can move on to Yites, and surprise, surprise to absolutely fucking nobody, there's not many.
No.
I didn't really have any Yites.
Palpatine killing the two masters off rip is stupid. I'm sure that there's a little thing saying, "Oh, he did that for Sith screen that froze them." Fuck that. Yeah. I don't care. I'm going by what my eyes tell me. He pulled up, smoked them instantly, and that's supposed to. I mean, like I guess it adds more to the Jedi are fucking useless, sure, but it doesn't feel right to me. Like I would have liked to see at least an attempt. These guys didn't even have their fucking guards up, man. Like,
oh, fucking Obi-Wan at the beginning saying, "Oh, I'm not brave enough for politics," and then all he fucking cares about is politics.
I don't know, man.
If Qui-Gon was still alive, the Jedi would not be like this, and I'm standing to that.
Man, I mean, Anakin certainly wouldn't be like that.
If Qui-Gon was the one to train Anakin, he wouldn't have turned to Vader.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Fucking definitely not. Another one I have that was kind of like, what the fuck, is when I'm not even sure what movie I've seen it in, but I feel like I imagine Pirates of the Caribbean for some reason. When the two pirate ships pull beside each other and they're just fucking dumping cannons into each other, whatever ship fucking makes it out. Why are they doing that on a ship that the Chancellor is on? Like, the Chancellor is on that ship in the beginning that they're just fucking dumping clips into each other. It's like, the Chancellor's on.
Yes. Yes.
I had to think about that for a second, because like then that ship starts falling and they're falling. It's like, this is the ship they're on? The clones are fucking carpet bombing the fucking spaceship that Palpatine's on.
Oh, speaking of the clones, they're also, if you look at some of the background clones, because every single clone in this is CGI besides Tamora Morrison's face.
They don't look good either. But I mean,
some of the background ones look very bad.
That's all right. I'll give it to him, because that is very difficult for the CGI of this age to be able to just fucking duplicate shit like that and make it look good, especially when it's the same fucking person. Like,
yeah, but like it is very drastic when we see the actual non-CGI live action clones in Obi-Wan and Mando, and then you go back to watch this. It's very jarring.
I mean, they're just not there. It's just like that fucking uncanny valley. Like, they're just not standing there. Like, their shadows don't. Have
you seen the behind the scenes of when Cody's giving Obi-Wan his lightsaber back?
I haven't.
It is, the picture is Ewan McGregor sitting on top of a green lump on a green screen with his hand out. That is it. Like, that is literally it.
CGI, everybody.
Like that entire scene. Honestly, I think Obi-Wan is even CGI at some points in that scene.
When he's on the back
Jesus.
of... Well, there's probably digital... He's probably a digital double on the back of that shit. Palkia, yeah. That shit will never fucking leave my head. That literally is him. Fucking sound, literally...
For those of you who don't know, I'll edit it in here. The sound that the creature that Obi-Wan rides on Utapau is the cry from Palkia in the Pokemon anime. So I'll insert that right here. so I remember, and I think it's the exact, like literally the exact same.
Couldn't afford another soundbite, I guess. Also another weird thing. This isn't
I think
yet.
this
This is
one
just
came out first though.
yeah. This is more of a what the fuck. Did you know this is the smallest budget in the prequel trilogy? This movie.
What?
That is
100
insane. That is actually
130.
insane.
This is. I mean, okay. It's like 2 million less than 2. So I think it's 113 for this one, 115 for 2, and then 125 I think for 1, or 125 for 2. All I know is it's the lowest. Somehow this movie has the lowest budget,
And it looks the best.
Look, I looked it up because I was curious. I'm like, obviously it's difficult, like when you have fucking inflation and shit.
Yeah.
Like trying to adjust for that kind of, and just like common practices. Like some things are just more expensive now, and like all that shit. But apparently, so yeah, this is the cheapest movie in the original trilogy. So
I don't know.
Good for them for making a movie as good as this.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's what I'm saying. I'm taking my metaphorical hat is being taken off for them, but it's like fucking crazy, man.
I think this is the first episode where none of us are wearing hats in a while.
Crazy.
I can
put one on real quick.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
I guess DL.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I think it's time for the thirsty moment of the movie.
with pleasure. So, first of all, welcome to the Thursday moment of the movie. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna back this up because I don't want my mic to be too loud, so I ruin the entire fucking segment. I mean, it's not the same level we get from Padme that we get in 2, because 2 is just like it's Padme. It's gratuitous the shots we get in 2 of her at a lot of parts, like so it's not comparable in this. But I'm gonna give it to the Jedi on Florum, the green one. Don't know.
Ava Secura, yes sir.
I'm giving it to her.
That's what I was gonna give it to.
The one, for anyone who doesn't know, it's the one that the clone shot at and then just kept fucking shooting.
That's the one that she got lit up, didn't she? Even when she's on the ground.
Yeah, they kept shooting her. I don't know why. I don't know what their beef was. They must have really.
They wanted to
her.
make sure she was out.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, that. Don't ask me why. You play with the cards you dealt, and that's the card I was dealt. I got love for that. I mean, it also was the outfit.
More than love that.
And whatever those tentacles on their head, they've grown on me. I'd slide on one of them.
You
Twi'leks.
I mean,
I would.
Yeah,
I'll say it proudly. Fuck it.
You got 2 nice handles hitting it.
That's what I'm saying.
You got 2 nice handles,
saying, bro. That's fucking leverage, baby.
Like
we eat that.
We dummy eat that. We're more than fine with that.
Yes, sir.
Did either of us add the question of the week?
I did. I did. Did anyone of you guys, Mom? Did you have any other thirsty moment besides the one I said? Anything that really got you
there
hot
was a scene
around
where
the collar?
Anakin was shirtless when he was getting out the bed when he had that dream. That was about it.
Fucking with Anakin, Mom.
I'm kind of fucking with Anakin. I can't even argue with that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, when he puts the cardigan on, he's like,
cardigan.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, Palpatine's looking pretty cute too.
Yeah, the attack on my life.
When he puts that hood on, he gets hooded, but kind of messing with the hood. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, then he opens up his mouth.
But
God, my life has left me scarred and deformed.
But then moving on to the question of the week. Of course, as always, every Saturday-ish, we take over to Instagram at the Staincast. You ask you guys a wonderful question, get you involved, get your answers, and finally, fucking finally, y'all wanted to actually respond.
Duly noted.
Big dubs.
Who would have thought that episode 3 was the one to get the most responses?
Everyone's coming out of hiding. Everyone's coming out of the fucking
Literally,
rocks.
Everyone's coming. We got quite a lengthy amount of responses here.
I mean, duly noted. In the future, we're trying to be like kind of eloquent and like a little less than being like, "Hey guys, what's your favorite character?" But you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna do it. Because like, I was trying to be like, all right, what's like what color lightsaber you have? I'm trying to be like something beyond just the binary of being like favorite character, favorite scene. But you guys are fucking with it, so we're gonna keep doing that now.
Yes, sir. But so we'll start off. I said 2 hours and 26 minutes of it, and guess what? The runtime is 2 hours and 26 minutes.
Fair point.
So, nothing to say there. Mr. Willie B says, right when Commander Cody gets the order immediately that says, for Order 66, and he
Mhm.
fires at Kenobi. Mr. Chet, as well as B_Irachi, have all said from Dark Side of the and Queel all said from Dark Side of the onward.
Respectable.
That's
Both
fair.
both Moist and Xander, also known as the Kid, said, "Use my knowledge, I beg, you."
Do not continue to be a pawn of the Jedi Council.
B also said, "Hello there."
Hello there.
Mr. Max, he said, "General Kenobi." He said, "Commander Cody, the time has come. Execute Order 66."
So hard.
It will be done, my lord.
Cole said Duel of the Fates. I'm assuming he means the Obi-Wan and Anakin fight at the end.
Probably.
The Duel of the Fates in episode 1.
Mm-hmm. Regardless, I fuck with
Both
Duel of
times,
Fates.
yeah,
So I say both are excellent answers, even though one is for one. But
And DL, if you want to go with yours.
I mean, I just said the negotiators. That was just me, just because I saw all the other answers. I just wanted to spice it up. But
Yeah. But of course, thank you guys for the very lustrous and amount of responses. We always appreciate when we get some answers. I would say we would answer the question ourselves, but we kind of did at the beginning of the episode because that's the whole point of the beginning of the episode.
I was just gonna say, if I had one part, just to not to fucking keep us going, is Darth Vader being like, first of all, both Padme and Darth Vader and Anakin both asking about each other the first thing when they're both on their fucking deathbed. I think that was cool. They're both asking about each other, like, oh, Padme safe, is Anakin safe? That's cool. And then when he's being like, oh, where is Padme? Is she all right? And he's like, the fact that Palpatine told him that he killed her, I think does so much for this movie because it just feels so much. It breaks the status quo because any other movie villain would have been like, Obi-Wan killed her. It's like to radicalize Anakin against fucking the Jedi and shit. But if Palpatine knew, because he's a fucking puppet master, that he knew that the more angry he got at himself, is the more angry he's going to be in general. It's like, that man is playing fucking 4D chess.
That's what I'm saying. Just the whole, like, it doesn't stop. Even, like, towards the end. Like, just the manipulation. It's just a masterclass.
It never ends. It literally never ends.
Bro, like, fucking that last, like, I don't remember where I've seen this quote. I think it was from a comic. Where it's like, which could you possibly hate so much that keeps you alive? And Vader literally says, myself.
Yeah, because like that's what keeps him going. Like that's the only reason why he's still alive after getting burned alive. Like the man got set on fire and was a freaking bag of charcoal at the end of the movie.
Get a medical capsule immediately.
There he is. He's still alive.
My ship. I sense that Lord Vader is in danger. Masterful. But I guess, DL, you know what time it is. Show us them numbers.
All right, fine. I went on my spiel last week. I was very upset, everybody. They done violated. IMDb took off the demographic information because they're a bunch of fucking cocksuckers. So, wow, here you go, guys. That's it. That's all we get. Surprisingly, what's the average? 7.6. I think that's very low. I think that's kind of vile. I think it's just...
that's old heads not fucking with it.
Yeah, I think
if you get the demographics.
Yeah, so if the demographics are there, we'd be able to figure that shit out. But it's also, I think it's just like the hate train from 1 and 2, kind of just like keep going. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where it's like people. It's the same thing like with the sequels, where it's like this. What was it? 8 was so shit. 8 was so shit. Where it's like 9, even if it was the best movie ever, still gonna get hated on because of how fucking shit the one before it was.
And then 7, even though it's pretty good,
it gets hated on because of what comes after.
Because of what comes after, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I wouldn't agree with this, especially like this.
Not at all.
The 7, like a fifth of the people more than a fifth of the people giving this movie a 7. I mean, obviously, artist objective, sure, we can say that. But I mean, when something's good, like this movie is objectively very good. Like there's no opinion into it, like especially compared. One sec, I don't mean to cut you off. Especially comparing to the previous 2 episodes that are fucking awful in comparison. It's like, all right, in a vacuum, maybe this movie is like a 9, right? But
also, I see baby girl's face in the corner.
Yeah, I do too. Love and death. Love death. Let me get out. I say we don't need to look at the numbers.
We'll just look at that.
Yeah. That's all I needed to see.
Yeah. All is well now. We could stop. Yeah. No, basically, I mean, it's still very it's very top heavy. The numbers, like it's still a very well received movie. I could say that, but I mean, it's this bottom half that kind of the fact that 30% of people are giving this movie a freaking 6 or 7. Yeah, it's like I'm off
I just
that.
want to see what their reasoning is.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, like for these ones, there probably actually is solid reasoning, but like when you can start getting like 4 and below, it's kind of just gonna be like, especially this.
Yeah, it's just
this
people hating for no reason.
Yeah, this is somebody pulling up, being like 0 out of 0. I hate this movie. Enter.
Shouldn't exist.
Mm-hmm. It's like you can't say that and not have substantiate your claims. You can't just hate for the sake of hating. I mean, you can, but
not here. Not for episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not for Star Wars. Not for episode 3.
But the only numbers that do matter, I want to take you guys into that right now.
Yes, sir. This movie's a 20 out of 20. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, honestly, I don't got nothing else.
What he said. I'm sure in the recording you're going to be on a different side of me, so I'm going to point this way and this way. What he said, 20 out of 20.
I mean, yeah, there's really nothing to put about it. We've been preaching this. I've said it's my favorite movie of all time, more times than I can count. Like this.
Hear
movie,
Hear me out. 21 out of 20. Rewatchability is a 5.
That's true. Actually, I mean that is
a good
true.
point. That is a fantastic
That is a good point. I mean, I've seen this movie, no lie, probably over 300, maybe even 400 times.
I don't even want to quantify it. I couldn't. Even.
Yeah, it was like I've seen this movie so many times. I've seen scenes from this movie so many times, and it never gets old. Mm-hmm. I can quote the entire movie. I love watching it. The acting is phenomenal. Everybody pulls their weight. The cinematography is phenomenal. There's so many shots that I would love to frame or have as my screensaver, or that I do have as my screensaver. The
emotions hit every single time too.
Yes, exactly. And just there's so much that you can appreciate from a rewatch. Mm-hmm. After watching Clone Wars, watch this movie. You'll get so much appreciation out of it.
Yeah.
After watching
it's so easy to come back to. It's so easy to come back. No, it's so easy to come back to this Obi-Wan mid. It's so easy to come back to. Man. No, the final episode, yes, of course. The final episode,
but it's so easy to come back to because so much ties to it.
Yeah.
Anything that involves Order 66 makes me want to watch this movie to see Order 66.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because it bridges both. Like, it's Clone Wars on one side and then original trilogy on the other. So, like, it's set up for so much. Like, it's literally like on one side, if you want to go before it, you have literally the entirety of the Clone Wars. Or if not, you have the entirety of even the early days of the Empire, which is still incredibly fucking interesting. All of that stuff that happens, like you really can't lose. Like no matter what you talk about, even if it's during Episode 3, like when you have in Clone Wars, like you just can't miss. You literally can't. And when they add that extra scene, like that scene of Ahsoka talking to Yoda when they're talking about like
right after that meeting,
yeah, perfect, literally perfect.
Yeah, like. There's so much that can add for this, and so much that I can preach about it, and we've been preaching about it, and we've been gawking over this movie for a whole hour and 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like this deserves nothing less than a perfect score, an above perfect score, and it's probably going to be the only movie that ever gets it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just every facet of this movie, like every single way you look at it, is just amazing, emotional. The story is great, the acting is great. The ideas, the story behind it is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, my final 2 cents is that to that point, Hank, I'll say that Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, I think it's just different eras. It's so difficult. It's like trying to compare LeBron and Jordan. Just different eras, man.
Especially because like this is what we grew up with.
Yeah, well, 1, we grew up with, and 2, George Lucas finally had like his mind and the technology he had finally were equal. Like in the OT, obviously, this man's using fucking claymation. He's using stop motion. He's in his bag trying to make a fucking lightsaber, and now he has a computer that does it for him. Obviously, so it's just different eras. But my 2 cents is I watched it last night, and it's the first time I watched this movie sober in God knows how long. Literally, God knows how long. Every single time I watch it, something's going on. So like I always like you kind of just gloss over the little scenes, but I mean. For all the memeing and hate that this trilogy got, because some of the jokes aren't great. This movie definitely had the best humor, aged very well. But like unironically, this movie is just fucking like you said, it's perfect. Like it's not my favorite movie of all time. I have other ones, sure, but like it's a contender.
It's in the top 5.
Yeah, like it's just a contender because like even with all the jokes, sure, with all the like the memeable scenes, when you have like the hello there, like all that stuff that got like memed into oblivion. Like even with all that said, it's still fucking amazing. Like,
and it's still fun to watch, and that's the
Mhm.
most important part.
yeah.
Is that when I sit down and watch a movie, I want to be entertained. I want to have fun.
It's like if
And
you
this
can watch a
movie
movie,
brings that.
if you can watch a movie 100 times, and on that 100th watch, you're still just as like, I am still just as excited. Like watching Darth Vader pull up like this, fucking in the chair when he's fucking first getting like,
Lean forward.
it's ridiculous. Like I've seen that scene.
Clean.
Literally at that point, we'll just call it infinite. How many times I've seen it? We'll call it infinite just for simplicity's
Because
sake.
it's going to continue to be as well.
Exactly, yeah. So we'll just call it infinity at this point. It's like I still get the chills from these scenes, and it's like some movies you don't even get that on rewatch. It's like, and this movie's still going. Like, sure, like you said, we grew up with it and all that kind of bias aside, but still,
This movie is almost 20 years old.
exactly.
And I can still watch it every
It still
day,
hits just the
and
same.
still hits.
It's like
I can watch it.
there's not many movies that are 20 years old that the humor still hits to the same degree. Like movies from 10 years ago don't even have like the humor doesn't land nowadays. 65 everything's
Movies from
changed.
5 years ago don't have that.
Absolutely.
Literally, like on the humor, like I've never seen a movie that has been so like memed, but it still
Funny.
is so good at the same time.
Yeah. Because the action scenes back it up. Like for every like joking, like super lighthearted scene, they have another scene that knocks it out of the park. Like, I mean, look, we talked about all these scenes, but like pick a scene.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like there is no ugly like blemish where it's like, oh, I really wish this part didn't exist. It's nowhere to be found.
There's no part that you wish you can like skip forward or just fast forward or anything. Like every single part has meaning and like there's some action towards it.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess with that, we have finally covered Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I would like to thank everybody for tuning into this one. This one means a lot to all of us.
I'm about to fucking cry, bro.
It's an
Mumbrella,
emotional
thank you.
episode.
It is. Mumbrella, thank you for joining us.
Happy to be
It's
here.
great to have you on this episode, of course, especially. And we're not done yet.
Way to play, Mom. Appreciate you coming out here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Through all the trials and tribulations of your fucking computer exploding.
Yeah, my computer about to blow up.
But stay tuned next week as we will be continuing our Star Wars theatrical schedule with another banger, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So stay tuned. Of course, as Saturday, at the Staincast on Instagram, we will be posting the teaser as well as the question of the week. Follow us on that as well. Click the link in that bio to go to our Redbubble to buy some merch. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, ring the notification bell, put on post notifications, do all that fun stuff. Share this around. Have some fun. Did I miss anything, DL?
I don't think so. But on the question of the week, buy merch if you want to. Stay tuned for our next episode. And what he said.
Wonderful.